Hey guys, welcome back to the Mini Machine Shop. I'm Dave, and I'm still futzing around with trying to produce chip guards here or whatever. I do like the feel of leather and the look of it, but went down to Joann's, which is like a craft store here, and they don't carry leather. Wife says leather is really expensive, so I guess it's, you know. So for $3 and change, I got a huge thing of vinyl, some kind of vinyl. Not cloth on the back, it's kind of strange stuff, so I'm sure chemicals and whatnot are not going to affect it, but you can use a lot of different things to make a chip guard. So magnets should be coming really soon. I just checked Amazon, and it's like they're up in San Francisco right now, so I should be getting them early next week. And I should be able to build something here to hold this wide, because I'm going to replace this bottom piece and just go completely down. But so I'm going to keep playing with it and thinking what to do. Meanwhile, in this video, there was a few things that were asked in comments from the last video I did, so this is part of it. Everybody's asking privately and back and forth what the leather is and all that, and my wife did go, I think it was Salvation Army this morning, and they had a really big leather jacket that was perfect, but she said it was $20 and I didn't want to spend $20. So after futzing with this, I may wind up spending $20 to get a leather jacket to use the leather. But in any case, the T-nuts, I finally said, you know, let me redo them, because the first set I did, I mean, the hole was so far off when I tapped it. I mean, it said I was eyeballing, I was just too lazy to use the edge finder, and I don't know if you can see it, but man, that's a mile off. I'm looking at it, you know, from the side. I was eyeballing it, going, oh yeah, that's close enough, and not even close. So I redid the T-nuts, and in this video, I figured, okay, let me just show some fly cutting with the power feed, some milling with the power feed, making these T-nuts. What else did I do? And I'll show a section on how I attach this, because somebody was asking about that, how exactly I did the existent leather. And then I'll show, my dad was a steam fitter, so he, his whole life, knew a lot of things, big time tradesman. So, and he used to scream at me a lot of times when I do the hacksawing wrong, so I'm going to pass on my dad's pearls of wisdom on how to use a hacksaw. So enjoy the video, guys. Alright, just wanted to show a little fly cutting here with the power feed and a nice quieter mill here. Drop it down a few thousandths and feed it in. Cool, now that the mill is quieter, I can actually hear it cutting. And I love the power feed, because I can stand back and I get chips all over me. Might ask, what am I making? Yeah, another set of T-nuts for the table here to hold the wood down, because I made the mistake of being lazy and I didn't edge find to get the center to drill the hole, and I eyeballed it, and boy, I was a mile off, even though it looked like it was centered. So I just got to take this down quite a bit more, 2/10, maybe 3/10, and then start cutting the sides in. Already fly cut all four surfaces. So I just wanted to share a little bit of the fly cutting with the power feed. The finish I'm getting is really nice. It's so close to a mirror. Alright, thought I'd show a little bit of milling with the power feed. I'm getting pretty nice finishes here. Of course, this is conventional milling, which is a terrible finish. Actually, it's not too bad. I used to have it a lot worse. And then climb milling here. That's a pretty darn good finish. I'm looking, it's almost mirror-like. I can see the chips and the reflection down there. So this is pretty nice. Again, I get to stand back away from the chips. I'm not walking in and tracking them all over the place. It's about a 7,000 cut here. Alright, hope you guys can kind of see that. I'm just going to shoot this to share. Jason Hallman or whatever was asking about this leather, and so I responded back with it. It's just some super soft leather. I don't know if you can see the back side of it, but I like Todd's idea with the magnets, so I want to try to clean this up somehow. What I put behind here, this is just an aluminum rod. Oh, it's loose? Yeah, it's getting loose. It's just an aluminum rod, and it's clamping here. The leather goes up, and then it gets tucked behind it. On the bottom, the leather just comes up, and I'm using the existing metal strip, right? Yeah, it's back there. Yeah. I just punched holes in the leather and put the metal strip that was already being used by the rubber stuff and stuck it on there so it goes up. So I got a lot of clearance because my DRO sensor is right here, and right below it is the bolt where it attaches to the base, and then the rail or whatever is bolted to the X-axis on the back. So now I can check that bolt easily and make sure it's tight and I'm not shifting anything. Front's the same way. I just punched holes in the leather and I'm using the existing metal piece here. This, I don't know if I can clean this up at all. Yeah, magnet probably would. The other thing, I guess, I could use that tack stuff that I put in a different video. This Max Tacky adhesive I could probably put on the metal bars here and clean this up, get it to stay. It should stay. It's just, yeah, put a C-clamp, small C-clamp on it, get it to hold until it dries. But the one thing I hate is fly cutting. Let me get something to cut here. A scrap drawer. What have I got? Yeah, I guess one of the junky T-nuts. That didn't work out. Oh yeah, the handle idea I discovered real quick. Why you can't do that? Because if it's on there, you can't move the handle. It'll hit it when it locks down. So, yeah, just got grease on me. Paper towel. So I'm going to reinvent that. What I was thinking about doing is this is 12 millimeter. I was going to get a 6-point 12 millimeter socket, see if I can soften it, saw it off, and then make another one of these guys where the set screw just clamps onto the 12 millimeter socket. That way I can take it on and off. So that's coming up. Let me get this in here. Where's the nasty little stupid wrench? Alright, fly cut something here. The reason like I said, I hate fly cutting is because the chips are flying all over the place. The bench in here, all over the floor. I'm tracking it all over the shop. Alright, bring it down. Probably just engage the power feed on this too. Alright, I'm pretty close to bring it over further. Fly Okay, nice. Alright, just manually engage the power feed here. There, it's engaged, power. Get rid of this. Alright, so if I do it like this, all the chips are going to fly. I didn't have a piece of leather to put here. But what I did was, yeah, I can put it back up there. I had to do some fly cutting, and I didn't want the chips all over the place, so I just grabbed a piece of felt since I have a ton of it. But what I did notice that was interesting is, in the past, the chips hit the metal and they fly way out. They just bounce. This somehow slowed it down a bit. It didn't bounce as much. Where is this going to cut? Alright, on the table in there. We're going to cut it. Yeah, it's just barely trimming it. Alright, take it out, take it down further. Long way. You see the chips bouncing? Not as much though. I mean, they used to go way out. So this was an improvement. Let me take it back. Leather, I'm sure if I put leather up there, it's going to bounce like crazy off of that. But the other thing was, I guess I'll throw this back in the trash can. Let's get rid of it. Oh yeah, chips all over it. The other thing I wanted to test here is neoprene. This is somebody's exercise shorts from the thrift store. But I'm wondering if neoprene's going to stop it as much. Yeah, it's high enough to do it. Alright, go down a few thousandths, bring it up. Run it back in, see what it does. Oh no, they're bouncing like crazy. Oh, no. They're coming way out, so no, neoprene ain't gonna do it. So I wish I could find something here that they just fall and stay in a foot. Yuck. Let me get it up and I'll take it outside and pound all the chips out of it. They're sticking to it. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Felt, I don't know. Well, the nice thing is I like Todd's idea with the magnets. So, because there's a magnet out of a hard disk that I, you know, neodymium or whatever you want to call it, neodymium. It holds it, and you can take things out to get there and clean it. And I want to keep this area clean. I'm so tired of trying to get the chips out of here. So, next video I'll probably show what I did. I did finally remake the T-nuts. These were just not really good. So I made them perfect. And now I've got this all attached. I don't know why this piece is warped. But both sides are attached. Chips don't go down in there. And I can easily vacuum without sucking up the wood. Alright, not much else to say here. So I just want to figure out how to cover this up, and then I'll just clean this up. Probably with the tacky stuff. Alright, that was it. Here, zoom in as far as I can on the leather here, so you can just kind of see it. I know it's real leather, because yeah, you can put a lighter underneath it, and it does not burn. Where's the lighter? Right? Nothing at all. Probably hot, huh? Yeah, it's hot. So, no burn marks, nothing on it. Alright. I guess I'll just move the camera around since everybody can see how it's just done. Can you? Yeah, you can see the screw in there. Yeah. So it's just that way, and then here's the back part of it. It's just up there and down below. And this guy is just the bar underneath here, and it's just clamped in there. The drawback, though, is the thickness of this. And the only thing I had that would fit the existing holes was bolts. So there, now I've lost the travel on the vise, because the vise comes back and it'll hit this. So I've lost this from here and back as far as travel in the y-axis. So that's just a heads up. Probably could have countersunk this and found some flatheads, and I would have had a little bit more distance, but yeah, I didn't want to change it so that it goes this way, because then I'd be looking at the raw edge up here. So So that's how the leather was, the wave protectors was put in there. Go by. Well, if you're like me and you're not fortunate enough to own one of the motorized saws, metal saws, you're going to use a hacksaw. And the hacksaw, I want it to cut on the forward strike. So the teeth are in there pointing forward. You want to get this as finger tight as you can, because when you make that strike you don't want to see that blade bending. And then I know a lot of people force or push into the work. You don't want to push into the work. Just use one hand, push down slightly, let the blade do the work. Don't force it. The more you force it, the more it's going to want to go crooked. I've made some cuts like this where you finish off the end in the middle, and I was off by maybe 5 thousandths. So just let the saw do the work. It's starting to get hot. Another trick too is you can really angle down, and it helps you keep the cut straighter. So moving from an angle to straight to angle keeps things straight. Boy, it's getting real hot now. On what am I using? This is a 32 tooth, which is fairly fine, but it cuts fast, and they do wear out pretty quick, especially when I'm cutting steel. I'll find that I'm doing more work than I should be, and I'll change the blade, and it starts cutting real quick again. Almost done. There it is. And the last few strokes. Oh, there it is. Yep, that's pretty straight. Put it there so you can kind of see it. Alright, just my 2 cents worth on using a hacksaw.